Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's me, Rebecca, the Creative Transformation Mindset Strategist, and I'm here yet again to give you another 3 wellness tips for this Wednesday, June the 1st. And I'm excited once again about these tips because I've talked about them before, but you know what? Sometimes we need to hear things more than once in order to get it. So we're back to share 3 more fabulous tips with you, and I hope you have your pen and paper with you or your notepad or whatever it is that you use to take notes. Go ahead and grab that and let's get started. So, as always, on a Wednesday, I always ask you, how did you start your day? What was the first thing you thought about when you woke up this morning? Was it something positive and life-affirming after you gave thanks for even waking up this morning, right? Was it something positive like, I'm excited about this day, my intention for today is to be a blessing to someone, or my intention for today is just keep my happiness, keep my smile on my face no matter what? Or did you begin with something negative? I can't stand this job. I don't want to go to this meeting. Why I got to talk to these people today? Trust me, I understand the reason sometimes for the negative thinking. But the problem is when you let that negative thought in first thing in the morning, it stays all day, sis. And we can't have that because that negative energy sets up your entire day. And if you're looking to grow and to prosper and to develop yourself better as a human being, as a spiritual human being, you can't let the negative thought even take root in the head. You have to eliminate it before it even begins. So as always, I want to encourage you to practice mindfulness. That is being aware of what you put in here first thing in the morning. Be aware of what you surround yourself with. Be aware of what you are about to speak. Because again, what the mind thinks, the heart believes, the eyes seek out, and the mouth speaks and thus creates. So make sure that those thoughts that are coming in the morning, whenever you feel those negative thoughts coming, you replace them immediately with something positive. No, today's going to be a great day. I'm going to stand tall today. One of the things I do with both of my children, even though one of them is almost grown, well, he is grown, right? He's 21 in a couple months. But my 12-year-old, my 13-year-old, soon to be 13-year-old, I practice every morning with her saying that today is going to be an awesome day for both of us. We are ready to have an awesome day. And then when she comes home from school, I always ask her to share with me 2 great blessings from that day. Not only does it keep her mindful and about paying attention to how she goes through her day and what she processes and thinks about her day, but it also helps me to do the same thing because it's hard to practice what you preach sometimes. Because there are days, especially, as working adults, when you just, you don't have the best day, you don't have your best moment, and you have to learn how to work through that because our children are watching us. So very important then to really begin to practice being aware and mindful of what you're thinking and what you're speaking, thus what you're believing, right? And creating. Very important. The second thing is, of course, that we do every Wednesday is deep breathing. So have you been practicing your deep breathing exercises? I have a great business coach who tells us whenever we feel like the day is crowding in on us and we are beginning to feel overwhelmed, to practice 2 big deep breaths, and you do them succinctly or right behind each other. You go and exhale quickly. And so I want to know if that's something that you do. I want you to begin to really research and get into deep breathing because, as I've said, it is such a grounding resource, a powerful resource to help you get reconnected, regrounded, and refocused. So whether you do or you do the exercise we're about to do, you need to practice breath. Again, it's good for your body. You are allowing oxygen to feed your cells and your organs, which is what we need. We need oxygen to survive. And you're participating in that reciprocal relationship with Mother Nature by exhaling and giving her what she needs to survive and thrive. So it's a reciprocal relationship. And I think the sooner we come to understand that, we begin to see our value and our place in the world, in this existence. Like, you're literally not here just for self. You're here to breathe life. And that is so important when you really think about that, what it means to breathe life. So for this deep breathing exercise, again, what we want to do is on, we want to take a big breath in. And as we take that breath in, we want to fill up our bellies with all that oxygen. But we also want to fill our mind with positive energy. So as we're inhaling, we want to not only inhale to our tummies, but we want to inhale peace, love, joy, abundance, prosperity, or whatever is the positive energy that you need. It could be just love, right? And on the exhale, what I want you to do is release all the oxygen from your belly. And that means I want you to flatten your belly, releasing all the toxins. So we're not only literally releasing toxins, but we are spiritually. I want you to say, releasing fear, pain, anxiety, and doubt, shame, all the things that hold you back, right? So let's do this on twice. Let's do this together. So we're going to take a deep breath in, fill up that belly with love, peace, joy, prosperity. Exhale, flatten the belly. We are exhaling anger, fear, shame, and pain. Let's do that again. Love, peace, joy, and prosperity. Anger, fear, pain, and shame. Again, practice deep breathing. We have all kinds of apps available out there that you can put on your phones, put on your computer. Do something, right, to help you, again, have a resource for yourself throughout the day to keep you focused and grounded. So let's get into our tips, okay? Are you ready? So our first one is, we've talked about it before. Again, we've talked about all these before, but we're doing it again. And how ironic, though, that we're doing them all together, because I've actually kind of talked about them separately before. But the first one we want to talk about, our first tip, is achieve. To achieve, all you need to do is set a realistic goal and make progress towards it each day. But here's the thing. This is perfect for both a long-term and a short-term goal. A short-term goal can be anything from a couple of days to a couple of weeks. And that could be, maybe you want to save $100 in a week, or maybe you want to, I hate to say lose weight, because that is from a totally different realm of thinking. It's more from ego perspective than soul intentionality. But say that is something you need to do. You just, for yourself, you do want to, in fact, lose 5 pounds. Goals are so important to understand what they are and why you need them, but you also have to understand they need to be realistic. They need to be obtainable, because it needs to be set up in such a way that you can achieve it, right? So when we're talking about achieving something, achieving a goal, we're also talking about setting up what are the steps towards achieving that big goal. So if you want to lose the 5 pounds, or if you want to save $100, you set the time frame for that. And then you look at, okay, well, what do I need to do each day to achieve that, to get to that goal that I have set for this particular date and time? And so how are you going to take those steps today? What are the steps that you're going to take to get to that goal? This area of achievement is so important, because this is where I think a lot of people get caught up in defining success as always reaching the goal. It's not always about reaching the goal. Sometimes it's about actually putting in the steps and achieving those individual steps, because it may take you longer than what you thought to achieve that goal. And some people quit because they feel like, oh, I'm a failure, I didn't reach it. No. Keep going, keep applying the steps, keep going after each step until you reach the goal. The definition of success is whatever you define it as being, but it can't come from an ego perspective, an ego center. It has to come from a soul-based intention to put pressure on you to lose unrealistic weight or to save an unrealistic amount of money. That is setting yourself up for failure. So you just want to keep in mind that to achieve something, you have to be realistic about what it is that you're trying to achieve. So if you're trying to get your master's degree, it is extremely difficult to get a master's degree in less than a year, or even a year. And for some people, it's longer than the 2 years that it typically takes. So really, when you're sitting down to think about what you want to achieve, really take a hard look at, not only is this thing attainable, but how do I attain it? What are the resources that I have around me to help me reach this goal, to help me set it, to help me work it, the steps each day? What do I got to do each day, each week to reach this, to achieve it, right? What is your definition of success? Is it trying? Is it doing? Is it reaching the goal? And I think that's a very subjective answer, because each of us is different in what we define success as. For me, success is getting my butt up and attempting it. And it may not come out the way I wanted it to, but the fact that I'm trying, it's everything. And I put that in relation to my opening of a brick and mortar for Maggie's Cupcake Cafe this month, the month of May 2022. That's a huge step for me. And it took me 2 years to work that up, but I also have individual goals for how I want each week, each month to look, but I'm realistic about that. Like, yes, would I love to have, $20,000 in sales for the month of June? Absolutely. But is that realistic in the market? Is that realistic with the products that I have and at the price that they're set at? So I know what I would like, but I also must be realistic and look at what's my marketing strategy, what's my cash flow projection, what are the things I need to do to get close to that, right? What will I be happy with that I can work from, right? So that leads to tip number 2, which is goals. Again, the difference between a short-term goal is something you can achieve in a couple of weeks, up to 16 weeks. And a long-term goal is something that might take up to 5 years, 3 to 5 years. So what is a goal for you, right? Your goals are your signposts along your road of transformation. Again, as we aspire to be this particular type of human being, what will it take to become that person? What will it take, Rebecca, to become the multimillionaire Rebecca? Or the Rebecca that is enlightened, that no longer gets angry at the silly things that we humans do, that knows how to keep calm in the middle of chaos, or has finally forgiven herself for mistakes made years ago. What does that look like, right? So your goals, how will you achieve a goal that you've set for yourself, right? Particularly, I want to encourage you to think about setting a goal for each day, because sometimes when we establish our long-term goals, sometimes our eyes are focused so far into the future that we're not paying attention to the present. And so I really want to encourage you to, create that long-term goal, but then sit down and map out the steps to that long-term goal, each month, each year. What does it look like? What are you going to achieve this week or this month that sets you up to get to that goal? This is about being patient and resilient and disciplined and obedient. And that's a hard thing for we as humans to do, because we want what we want when we want it, right? But if you want that goal, if you want that, big fancy house on the hill, if you want that multi-million-dollar business, if you want that literary agent, or if you want that degree, you must create realistic short-term and long-term goals that are achievable, that are obtainable. You must be clear on what those are, and then you must be clear on who you are. What is your temperament? What is your personality like? Do you not like to ask for help? How do you ask for help? Those things are important when you're talking about goals, right? So that leads to the third tip, which is bam, truth. Accepting the truth allows you to take positive action. So when I said know who you are, you need to be honest about what type of person you are. If you are a procrastinator, be clear and honest about that, because when you are honest about it, then you can go find the resources to assist you. You can find a coach to help you, to keep you accountable, help you be accountable to your actions, to your goals, help you be responsible. The truth, accepting the truth about what our strengths and weaknesses are, this is one of the keys to living your best life, most purposeful and fulfilled life now. Because to know your strengths and weaknesses is to have the keys to success. Like, I know what my strengths are. I'm a writer. I'm a speaker. I'm an idea woman. Weaknesses, math. So I have to have an accountant. I have to have a bookkeeper for my business. And then I have to have people teach me, the in and outs of marketing, because I don't know that stuff. The technology, it's such a different game these days. And so instead of running from it or acting like it's not a problem and trying to do it, I'm honest with myself. Girl, you ain't got time to learn this, nor do you know how to, nor do you want to. So let's just go ahead and hire somebody to work with us along the way. So what is the truth about you, right? What is the truth? Do you need to make that call this week? Send that email, schedule that appointment, show up. What's the truth about you? What is the truth about your goals? Because your goals reflect you. So if you have these huge, monstrous goals, but you know that you are a procrastinator, you know that you need people to hold your hand all the way through everything, then how are you going to achieve that goal? So this is really about, again, tapping into self and understanding who you are and how you operate. So the way that you achieve goals is to be clear, to be truthful about who you are, right? About what you're capable of, what you're willing to be capable of, and which you will just absolutely not do. Like for me in the bakery, Maggie's Cupcake Cafe, I will not make pie crust by hand. I ain't got time for that. Right? I'm just being truthful, right? So Pillsbury dough is my best friend. So, anyways, that's my 3 tips for you today on this June 1st of 2022, our Wellness Wednesday tips. Again, we talked about achieve. Again, to achieve, all you need to do is set realistic goals and make progress toward it each day. Our second tip was goals. Your goals are your signposts along your road of transformation. Be clear about what they are, your short-term versus your long-term. And then finally, the truth. Accepting the truth allows you to take positive action. Who are you? Are your goals achievable? Is that the truth, or are you telling yourself a story just to make yourself feel good and to make others feel good? We ain't got time to get on and all that, but y'all know what I mean. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Again, you can also follow me on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Who did I forget? Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm on all of those. You can follow me there. And again, you can go to my website, RebeccaLPierce.com, schedule a consultation or a chat with me. I would love to see how I can help you take the next step into your purposeful, driven, fantabulous best life yet. I'll see you guys next Wednesday with another 3 fabulous wellness tips. Have a fantastic weekend. Please make sure you share this video with others. Be encouraged, be inspired, and I'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye.